Sprues and Studs! Yo-ho, Brick Family! Sprues and Studs here, and welcome on in to another LEGO Speed Champions build. This time we will be featuring an older Speed Champions set, the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Oh, again, if you want to see more of these awesome LEGO builds, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon for notifications of new videos. Again, I upload videos every Wednesday and Saturday for your specific viewing pleasure. As I stated in prior videos, the more subscribers that we have in this channel, the quicker we hit milestone subscriber numbers, which I will be giving you, the viewer, polybags, current sets, and maybe even vintage sets. The reason why I want to do this is to give back to this awesome LEGO community, which brings together adults, children, and happiness. I will say during the dark times of 2020, LEGO was one of the few bright spots for me during that year. When I build these sets, they help me escape reality and help me relax as well. To me, all there is the peace of building the LEGO set brings me and a sense of accomplishment when I finish up a set. I hope to be giving lucky viewers the same happiness, peace, and accomplishment that I feel when a lucky winner finishes a set that I send out. So this set was released back in January 2nd of 2020 and retails for the standard single Speed Champions car price, which is $19.99. The $20 will buy you a total of 275 pieces of LEGO and only 11 stickers. Yes, you heard it right, folks, only 11 of them, which is a rather low count for a Speed Champion set. As with the 2021 Speed Champion sets, there are a total of 2 numbered bags, with the first bag focusing on building the rear of the model, and then the second bag focusing in on building the front of the model, and also finishing up the car. I'll be honest with you in that I already own the set. In fact, I bought it on launch day back in 2020 because I love the LEGO Speed Champions theme, and pretty much most real-life cars that get translated into LEGO form. I wanted to share this build with you because the Tributo is my favorite LEGO model in the 2020 Speed Champions lineup. As with all LEGO sets with minifigures in them, you start building the minifigure first. The minifigure in this set is that of a very grizzled man with a jacket and a Ferrari t-shirt. He is sporting a serious 5 o'clock shadow and can be configured with 2 expressions. One with a wide smile on his face. Hey, if I were him, I'd be smiling too if I were behind the wheel of this car. And the other side, he has a more worried look, which I really don't understand why you would want to worry with one of these cars. Anyway, I have to admit through the years, LEGO has gotten more advanced with printing of the faces on the heads of the minifigures. This is a prime example of how far LEGO has come over the years. If you had been watching my prior 2021 Speed Champions videos, you will know that when you start building these sets, you always start off with a ubiquitous black LEGO chassis piece. You then add the rear axle to the chassis, and then move on to building the rear bumper of the car along with twin exhausts, which use cylindrical metallic gray pieces. At this very early point in the build, we only have the bumper and the exhaust to compare to the real car, but I will admit, so far so good with the LEGO translation. Then as you build up the rear of the car, the model begins to truly take shape. The 4 taillights on the Tributo are represented on the LEGO model by 4 translucent round flat 1x1 pieces, and again the designers of this model did a good job of choosing the correct LEGO pieces, as we would come to expect. After the taillights are on the car, you're then moving on to building the rest of the rear of the car. One of the most prominent areas of the Tributo is the rear windshield that houses the engine underneath the car. This is achieved on the Lego model by using dark gray smoked 1x2 Lego pieces, which are arranged in a step pattern, which you can kind of see on the real Tributo, but those steps are not as pronounced as they are on the model. You then finish off the first bag of the car by building the interior. The interior consists of a center console, which is represented by a sloped black Lego piece in which you put a sticker on it. The sticker features a bunch of dials and buttons, and that's pretty much it. You then move on by building the backrest, and there you have it. The first bag is done and over with. Moving on to step 2, you start building the front splitter of the Tributo. One thing I wanted to point out was that Lego, I believe, used 2 printed shield-like pieces to represent the bottom of the splitter. When you look at a picture of the real Tributo, you can see how those shield-like pieces can be made to represent the splitter. From that point on, you further build up the hood of the car and then throw on the front wheel arches on the model. So true to tradition, I want to give you some real-life facts about the Tributo. It is a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car and has a super price tag to go along with it. So the power plant on the Tributo is a 3.9-liter twin-turbo V8, which is capable of cranking out 711 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. All that power will blast you in the car from standstill to 0-60 miles an hour in a mere heartbeat, or more specifically 2.9 seconds. It can live a quarter mile at a time in 2.5 seconds and achieve a top speed of 130 miles per hour during that run, which is actually quite close to the 10-second car that Dominic Toretto wanted in the first Fast and Furious series. Unfortunately, petrolheads would probably be disappointed to hear that this car sports a 7-speed twin-clutch automatic transmission. Most petrolheads want to row through the gears. However, I'm pretty sure they realize that they cannot shift through the gears as fast as a computer can. But we'll save that debate for another day. So this car will set the owner back around $277,000 base, but who wants to settle for the base model if you're already throwing that kind of money at the car? With options, you can easily rack up $386,000 for one of these bad boys, which is a nice, good chunk of change. There is another Lego piece that I want to point out to you all. While it may not seem too impressive to you, but there is a 1x1 red stud that features a printed Ferrari symbol on it. I am rather impressed that the Lego group has printers that can print out the famous Ferrari prancing pony in such great detail. Then moving on, you use a bunch of studless red Lego pieces to make the car look as smooth as silk. Towards the end of the build, you end up stickering the car with 5 different stickers in succession, which I think is better than stickering one part, then going back to building, and then stickering another part. Doing that breaks you out of your rhythm while you're building the model. Anyway, you end up stickering the front hood with the famous prancing pony emblem and the 2 front headlights. After you build the 2 doors, you are nearly done. The last step is to put the tires around the wheels and put the rims on. One thing that I will point out to you is that on all 2020 and previous Speed Champions models, you have to put the tires on the wheels. On the 2021 models, the wheels and tires are combined into one, saving you the effort of putting them together, I suppose. Overall, I believe that the LEGO designers did an excellent job of converting the Tributo into LEGO form. This is the reason why this is my favorite 2020 LEGO Speed Champions model. LEGO did what it could to translate the flowing curves into LEGO form. However, since the nature of LEGO is blocky, they can't be 100%. For example, if you look at the side profile of the real Tributo, the top of the wheel arches are, arched at the top, where on the LEGO model, the arch, well, it wouldn't be an arch if it was flat. Well, it's flat. The rear of the car is also spot on, even with the mimicking of the gap that represents the rear spoil of the car. Finally, the front of the LEGO model looks very much like its real-life counterpart. I suppose the only thing that doesn't look quite right is the dip in the middle of the hood of the car. On the real Tributo, the dip looks triangular in nature, where on the LEGO model it looks more like a rectangle. Finally, there is actually one thing I will really nitpick on, and that is the fitment of the minifigure in the car. If the driver of the car is sporting his hair or his helmet, the windshield piece does not close securely, which I believe should have been fixed before releasing the model. Anyway, like I said, this is a brilliant model, and I love it. And there you have it, Brick Family. Another LEGO build done, and another Speed Champion set completed. All in a day's work, I suppose. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will see you, my Brick Family, in another build.